Well, g'day everyone. I'm here with my friend Cora, and in today's video, I'll show you how to look after the older horse. Let's jump in. G'day everyone, I'm Zoe, and this is Kahu. This is just a little reminder that I'm not a professional horse trainer, so anything you do see in my videos is only intended to be a guide. So, with that said, let's get on with the video. The next and final item on my list is feed. Now this comes as a multi-category, so let's get into it. Now for this one, I find herbs are a really great additive to add to your horse's feed, particularly when you have an older horse just like Cora. Now Cora is in her mid-20s now. She's had a rough past from people who have had her, but also a multitude of different joint, muscle and other related issues that have caused her pain and discomfort a lot over the few years that I've had her. Now all the herbs that I do have come from Country Park Animal Herbs. Now I am not endorsed by them, but I do love their products and they are made for horses and humans alike. First on my list is chamomile. So if you've seen my What I Feed My Horses video, you'll know that all my herbs are stored in boxes just like this one. So this is my box for chamomile. Now all herbs that come from Country Park do have a serving guide on the backs of their packets or on the front depending upon the size packet you receive, and it does give you a guide as to how much you feed based upon a 500 kilo horse. Now in the case of chamomile, this is a 1 to 2 tablespoons once or twice daily, and this is what it looks like. Now this is the tea bag cut chamomile that I get just for Cora, and sometimes I get this to Kahu as well, and Jewel in past times have had this as well. Now chamomile does have some anti-inflammatory effects, and in the case of if a horse is feeling anxious or maybe nauseous as well, just like us, they can get all these sorts of symptoms. It's great for helping with nausea and anxiety as well. But in the case of Cora, this can greatly help her with any joint inflammation. Now next on my list is rose hips. Now you would have seen this one a fair bit across the internet, possibly more so in Australia with Rose Hip Vital for dogs and horses. And that's because it is fantastic for helping with blood flow and joint pain associated with arthritis, and that is because of two major components that inside rose hips. Now rose hips are known to contain vitamins E, D and A, with omega-6 being in that glorious mix as well, also containing polyphenols. All of these help to support the muscular and skeletal system, so it's another tick from me to help aid with arthritis. And for those of you wondering, here's what the rose hip granules look like. Next on my list is the mighty nettle leaf. Now this might seem like a humble herb, but there are many parts or components in this glorious herb that make it a great candidate for horses suffering from arthritis or other joint related pain. If you're wondering what it looks like, there's your humble herb. Beautiful nettle leaf. Now Cora being older, she may or may not suffer from different gut related issues that may prevent her body from absorbing or getting the nutrition out of the food that she should be receiving. So the next on my list is licorice root. Now it doesn't really do a lot for joint inflammation, but it is fantastic at helping with the gut flora, which in turn would help Cora get the nutrition from the food that she's consuming to aid in maintaining that weight that she should be. Now from Country Park, this comes as a root form, so it looks like finely chopped up bark, or it comes in this powdered form, which is what I opted to go for this time round. Next on my list is Devil's Claw. Now again, I got this one in the powdered format. Now Devil's Claw is fantastic because it contains hypoglosside, which has anti-rheumatic and anti-inflammatory properties. It's a yes from me and a big tick for Cora for this wonderful product. Great for arthritic and pain-ridden horses. As I said, I did get this one in the powdered format, so you can see it looks a little bit like drinking chocolate, and it actually behaves a little bit like that too. The last one on my list is ginger. Again, I get this in a powdered format, and it is fantastic. It contains antioxidants, which is great for getting free radicals out of the body, which means that it actually helps reduce inflammation. Now, it's also great for us humans if we get motion sickness, so this is a great one for dogs too. It's also great for a multitude of different things, but the number one reason I feed it for Cora is to help with her joint pain. Once again, this one comes from Country Park Animal Herbs, as do all of mine, and as I said, it does come in a powdered format, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so we've spoken about herbs, now let's talk about what I do feed Cora. Now, I do feed her Aquila pellets, and I also give her the Johnson's Horse and Pony. Now, I chose these because they're not full of oils and sugar. I want to be able to control that in her diet to keep her gut nice and happy and healthy, and try to get as many years from her as I can. Now, one thing I have learned over the years having Cora is the volume of food that she has really does matter. While she does get significant forage from grazing out in the paddock and the hay that I do provide for her, because her teeth are badly worn, Cora doesn't actually get a lot of nutrition out of the food that she consumes versus what I feed her. So I make up for this roughage by giving her chaff in a mixed feed, and she also contains all these herbs and pellets that I give her that I can control the vitamins and minerals and other nutrition she gets into her body. Cora's herbs right now consist of rose hips, licorice root, devil's claw, dandelion, and nettle leaf. Now, even though earlier in this video I mentioned way more than 5 herbs, I like to and keep to the recommendation from Country Park Animal Herbs of keeping it to 5 herbs a day, not 5 herbs per feed. So let's chuck these herbs in her bin and go feed her. Now, the last few items are only just to give her something else into her body to make sure she's getting it. So in goes some calcium carbonate just to make sure she's getting plenty of calcium. I follow this up with yellow sulfur. This is high in B vitamins. It also has anti-parasitic effects in terms of ticks. And last on my list is MSM. Thanks for watching, everyone. That is the end to part 2 of how to care for the older horse. If you have any video suggestions, drop in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, guys, see you next time. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date with what's going on in our world.